Hello everyone, I'm Divya, and in this video we are going to go over our new module, Specimen Processing Workflows. So let's get started by a basic introduction. The Workflows module is a paid plugin and it helps you create customized specimen processing workflows. It helps you to capture end-to-end lab workflows in an easy to navigate interface. Our workflow module is like a wizard that will help you to do step by step navigation throughout the processing of specimens. Now, you must be wondering why use workflows module instead of our regular screens. So, let me clarify that for you. The first thing is it will help improve the lab user's productivity. The second is it will help you to complete the whole processing of your specimen with less number of clicks and page loads. Third, it is best suited for high throughput labs. Now, how are specimens assigned to a workflow? When you collect primary specimen into OpenSpecimen, these primary specimens are automatically assigned to workflows based on the rules that you have configured for your workflow. Now let me show you some example rules through this table. The first column that you see is the name of the workflow, that is serum processing, sorry. So serum processing, urine processing, heparin processing, tissue processing. Okay, and the column second, third, and fourth that you see over here are nothing but a set of rules for each of these workflows. Okay, so for the first workflow, that is serum processing, we have added the collection protocol as biobank, the specimen type as whole blood, and collection container as serum separator vacutainer. When all of these three rules are met, the specimens will automatically get assigned to this particular workflow. Similarly, for each of the workflows, you can have different set of rules, like I have mentioned in this table. Okay, and all these rules can be applied based on any of the specimen fields. For example, you can add rules on specimen lineage, the initial quantity, or a custom field. Now, waiting list for lab users. When you create a workflow and assign it to a specific user group, when the user logs in, they'll see a list of specimens in the waiting queue. Okay, this list is called as waiting queue in OpenSpecimen. Now, workflows can be assigned to specific users. Let's say you have two workflows that you have created in your system. One is serum processing and the other is urine processing. For each of these workflows, you can have two different set of user groups working on them. Now, starting a workflow. Okay, users can select or scan one or more specimens to start a batch. A batch is nothing but a group of one or more specimens that you'll be processing at that particular time. Now, let us take an example and I'll demonstrate the whole workflow to you. The example that we are going to look is serum processing workflow. The collection protocol in this case would be blood biobank. The primary specimen will be a whole blood, which is received in workflows module. Then it will be centrifuged and processed into serum aliquots. Okay, and this is the diagram representation of the same. First you receive the specimens at the lab, then you spin them, then you pipette serum tubes and then scan aliquot barcodes. Now let me go to open specimen screen. Right now I'm logged in as a tissue banker, and as you can see I have limited access to a few collection protocols and the workflows. Okay, so to navigate to workflow screen, you can directly click on any of the workflows here, or if you want to see a list, you can just click on this expand icon over here. Or if you're on some other screen, let's say you are into this protocol on the participant page and now you want to navigate to the workflows module, you can just use this navigation menu, scroll till the bottom, click on workflows, and it will take you to the workflow screen. Okay, the first screen that you will see is batches. So when you start with the batch, it will appear here. Once you have finished all the tasks in the batch, it will go away from here. Okay. This Now here there are a few buttons, so let me explain one by one. The first button that you see is create. So if you wish to scan a couple of specimen labels or barcodes to start the specimen processing, you can click on this create button, select any of the workflow that you want to use. So let's say I'll be using serum, and then here you can scan in specimen labels or barcodes. Okay. So the next button over here is workflows. If you click on it, you'll see a list of workflows that you have access to. Okay. So the third button is waiting queue. If you click on this, you'll see that there are a list of specimens that are ready in the queue, and you can select them and start with the process. Okay. So now there are two ways by which you can select your specimens. One is you can manually select them like this. If not, if you have a list of labels or barcodes with you, you can use the search button and scan in your labels or barcodes here. So let me take a few examples. Okay, so you can just scan in your specimen barcodes like this, comma separated, and it will bring up only those specimens. Okay, once you have all your specimens, you can just select them all together and start with the batch, right? So as you can see here, now there are two sections to this screen. One is the left hand side where you will see a list of tasks that you need to complete in this workflow, and on the right hand side you will see all the patient and specimen details. Okay, so if you scroll a bit, you'll also see the quantity, quality, collection date and time, receive date and time. You can also add any comments if you want. Okay, once you have verified all of this is correct, you can just click on submit. The next task here is spin tubes. So now you're just spinning your blood tubes at a specific g force, duration and time. Okay, so you can verify these details, you can add any comments if you want, and click on submit. Okay, so now in this task, you'll be creating serum aliquots for each of the tubes. Okay, so you can either default this or type it manually. So let's say from each tube, you're creating two aliquots of 0.5 ml each. Okay, you can also add any comments if you want, and you can also close the parent tube. That means once these aliquots are created, the primary specimens will be closed. Okay, once you have added all your details and verified it is correct, you can click on submit. Task in this workflow is to scan aliquot barcodes, and as you can see here, there are two ways to scan your aliquot barcodes. One is using this text area over here. If you have a scanner, you can directly scan in all your barcodes as comma separated or new line, or you can just scan in your barcodes like this one by one. Okay, so now let's me enter some example barcodes over here. Okay, and you will notice that it will automatically got added to individual rows, right? So me here, and once you're done with assigning the barcodes, you can verify it again if it is correct and click on submit. Right, once you have finished all your tasks, you will get this message saying all your tasks have been completed, and you can click on close. Right, and that batch is cleared and completed. So now for this video, I have one more example which is totally different from the one that we just saw. The name of the workflow is blood processing workflow. In this, we'll first go to our collection protocol and register a participant in collection protocol, and then proceed to registering visits and enter some form data for the visits using workflow module. Okay, so I'll go to the collection protocol. The collection protocol that we are using for this is kidney disease. I'll go in here, add a new participant. So I'll fill up all the mandatory details over here. Okay. And here, instead of clicking on add participant, I'll click on proceed to collection. Now, this will take me to the workflows module, where the first step is to register visits. Okay, so I have configured a few columns over here. So there is collection protocol, PPID, the event, and this is the visit name. I have renamed it to request form number. This is a manual data entry, but you can also make it auto generated. Okay, so I'll just put a unique ID here. Okay, and click on submit. Now, based on whatever you have set in your collection protocol definition as specimen requirements, all those specimens will be populated like this. Okay, you can check if the details are correct, like the collection container, the collection date and time. You can also add this analysis type. So this is a custom field. You can do all these kinds of data entry and click on submit. Okay, so here, since we have three different visits, I have created three different forms and attached to it. So these are forms at visit forms level, and as you can see, this is set to default. So if the event is follow up, it will ask you to do data entry for this form. If it is baseline, it will ask you to do data entry for blood testing, and for collection, this form. Okay, so once you have verified this is correct, you can click on submit, and it will ask you which form you want to fill first. So let's go one by one. So first, I'll fill in this form. The next is hematology analyzer results. So you can enter details and submit. And the last is clinical history and follow-up form. So you can update the form with the details and click on submit. Okay, so in this workflow example, we saw that we can start from registering visits, then collect specimen, add any form details that you have per visit, and complete your workflow. Okay, so this was it for the workflow module. Kindly get back to us if you have any further questions. Thank you.